What's going on, everybody? I'm Mick Manhattan, the Scene Snob, and I'm back again with an all-new Scene Snobs reviews, and I'm checking out the new movie, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, from 2022. It's a Netflix film that just came out, and, we're going to get into it. So being a fan of the series, I was definitely excited to check this out. The movie takes place in Harlow, Texas, which is the site of the original grisly murders from the first movie. This is a direct sequel from that, in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre in 1973, so 49 years after. And it does follow Sarah Hardesty, who was the sole surviving victim of the Sawyer family in that original movie, and it follows a group of young people who are coming into Harlow to take over the town and build it up into a new city that they can make their own. The town has been long abandoned because of the massacre, and not many of the people that were from there are still there, just a handful. So these young people are coming in to kind of take it over, fix it up, and make it their own. But they missed one detail. Leatherface is still there. Alright guys, I just want to give you a heads up before I go any further with my review. There is going to be some spoilers, so if you want to wait to watch the movie and then come check it out. I'm not going to go into who dies, what happens here, things like that, but I am going to get into a little bit about what characters are doing and where they're at this point. So if you want to stop now, go check out the movie and come back. We'd love for you to come back and check this out and let us know what you think in the comments. All right, so here we go. All right, so you guys have been warned, so here we go. So Sally Hardesty is not played by the original actress in this. Olin Fior comes in, takes over the role, and since that time where Sally went through that, she became a Texas Ranger. And her sole purpose of doing that was to find Leatherface. She has no idea what his identity is, so she is set out in this 50 years to try and find him, with no luck. And I will be honest with you, in terms of plot and connection to the original movie, that's about as far as this makes sense. Because the connection is very weary. I don't know if they're expecting us to forget what happened in the original movie or not go check it out, but this is a direct sequel. The third time that this series, this franchise, has come back to make a direct sequel to the first movie. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 from the 80s is my favorite in the series. I like the campy vibe and I like where they took it. The original is a good movie and I really respect that what it was about, and I really like the filmmaking aspect of it, but it is thin on plot in my opinion. But I do and always will appreciate what it did for the horror genre and what Leatherface did for the horror genre. Now fast forward to this movie, and this movie somehow is even thinner on plot and replaces things that I do still hold dear that I liked about those movies. There's no mention of what happened to the Sawyer family in this, because if there was, it must have been a blink or you'll miss it moment. I watched it pretty intently to see what was going on, even rewound a few times to make sure I got certain dialogue right, to kind of follow along with the plot. And I'll tell you, I haven't heard anything about what happened to the Sawyer family. We do get glimpses of the old house and things like that, but you never really find out what happened. They just say that Leatherface went missing. And Leatherface wasn't the only person terrorizing those kids back in 1973. So this new group coming into the town, they've supposedly bought up all the deeds to every part of the town, and they're taking it over so they can move in. Young, I want to say Gen Z types who want to kind of build a society for themselves that is away from what's going on in our current world. But as they arrive in the town, they find an old orphanage. And on that orphanage is hanging a rebel flag. Our main character, Dante, who's the celebrity chef that's kind of leading this pack, goes to take down the flag, and they find an old woman still living in there. And she should have vacated, so they have her removed by the police. Now she has an older man that's living with her that sort of takes care of her, and he was one of her wards throughout, the last surviving orphan within that orphanage. And you're getting serious Leatherface vibes from him. But I don't understand it because he is an old man, but Leatherface was a man in the original. He wasn't a child. He was visibly a man. And they set up the lore that he has been there ever since. And she's been taking care of him and tending to him this whole time. But it just doesn't make sense to me. It feels like they just tried to really shove down our throats that this is what happened to Leatherface. He went into an orphanage, but no mention of what happened to the Sawyers, no mention of why he was now a child in 1973. It really, they just kind of made it look like he was a big child, but that still made no sense to me. Like I said, it's very thin on plot. What I will say that I really liked about this movie is that the cinematography was really good. I really liked the look of everything. Every shot just seemed really planned out and beautiful. The death scenes in this were fantastic. If you're a gore or horror fan, you'll really appreciate them and what they did. And the director, David Blue Garcia, this is his second time directing a movie, but he was a cinematographer beforehand. He did a movie called Bloodfest a few years ago that also had really good cinematography and had cool effects and such, so he's no stranger to it. But direction-wise, I didn't see a lot, and he did fine with the reactions from the characters, and all the characters did a really good job, and I was like, I really appreciated what what they were doing. But overall, the plot just kind of took me out of it, and it didn't make a whole lot of sense. So I wasn't a huge fan of this movie. It didn't do anything to kind of revive or wake me up to wanting to see more of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. In fact, I kind of just want to go back and watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 now. Overall, my rating for this movie is 2 out of 5 chainsaws. Just not a huge fan. Again, the look was cool, the deaths were cool, the acting was fine, but it just missed its mark in my opinion. I just feel like if you're going to do a movie where you're reviving and it's this direct sequel where you bring back the main character from the first movie, why not do it on the 50th anniversary? Why are you putting it out on the 49th anniversary? You should have done a little bit more for the lore and to connect it, where they could have put the story a little bit more together and maybe open it up to keep the franchise going, or even if this was it, a one and done, have a direct sequel that made sense. But that's my review of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'd love to hear what you guys think, so if you liked it or you hated it or whatever, please sound off in the comments, or you can join up on our Discord where we'll be talking about it there. Let me know what you think, because I'm really interested, and maybe a new perspective will show me something different. So thanks very much for watching. You can check me out on the Scene Snobs Podcast. We're live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. and then it's available on our YouTube channel and all podcast platforms after that. You can check out any one of our reviews, recommendations, reactions, and so much more over on our YouTube channel. If you like this video, please give it a like, check out the channel, and if you like the channel, give us a subscribe. It really helps us go a long way, and we appreciate it. Thanks so much. You can check out all this and more on thescenesnobs.com. I'm Mick Manhattan, the Scene Snob, and I will talk to you guys later. Take care. Thanks for watching and listening, everybody. I'm the Scene Snob, Mick Manhattan. You can check out the Scene Snobs Podcast live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on our YouTube channel, or all podcast platforms afterwards. Also on our YouTube channel, you can check out great shows like Real Combat, the ultimate debate show for movie lovers, Mick's movie picks with new recommendations every week, Geek Fest live every Sunday night, and new movie reviews and news all the time. Like and subscribe, then hit the notification bell so you know when all of our new episodes drop. Thank you so much to all of our amazing Patreon supporters, with whom this would not be possible. They help keep the lights on and support us in such big ways. If you would like to become a supporter on our Patreon and take advantage of all the perks like monthly giveaways, early access, and so much more, head on over to the Scene Snobs Patreon page and just sign up on one of our 2 tiers. Join our awesome community of geeks, movie lovers, and so much more, and join up on our Discord. The Scene Snobs Discord is now live, and you can head over to thescenesnobs.com for links to there and more. The Scene Snobs merch store is now open with original fun designs that are available on all different types of merch and apparel. Check out thescenesnobsmerch.com. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to all of our social media accounts like TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and so many more. We have fun updates, topics, we talk about collectibles, and so much more on there. It's a great time. You can find all of our links to everything on thescenesnobs.com or on our link tree, which are down in the descriptions below. Thanks again, everyone. Stay tuned and stay geeky.